Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies. I'm Sparky Fifer from the Wendy's Big Show weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP in Milwaukee. He, of course, Gery Woelfel, one of the top 5 insiders from around the country here at the Racine Journal-Times. Let's preview the center position for the NBA draft coming up on June 26th. We'll have our draft show on WSSP in Milwaukee. From the very first pick of the draft to the very last pick of the draft, we'll have reaction from Bucks headquarters. Gery Woelfel will be joining us. It'll be a lot of fun on Thursday night, the 26th, in the NBA draft. All right, the center position isn't as deep as the other positions. However, the top player at this position may go number 1 overall to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And if he doesn't, maybe the Bucks take him at 2. Joel Embiid, the big center out of Kansas, is a 7-footer.
Well, without a doubt, the most intriguing player in the draft. This guy could be a superstar. He could be a failure. I mean, I really feel sorry for the Cleveland Cavaliers because they got a major decision. Is this going to guy come in and be their franchise player? And they got Kyrie Irving, who, by the way, wants to play for the Los Angeles Lakers.
As does everybody else.
Little tidbit, he wants out of Cleveland. Yeah. But anyways,
LeBron may be coming to Cleveland, though. So
yeah, don't even go there. No chance. But the thing about Embiid, and it's been well documented, his back issues, and that to me scares the what out of me. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't only at Kansas where he had the back issues. He had it last year prior to coming to Kansas. So, but that aside, okay, let's say he's cleared medically, which he will be. There isn't any doubt. He'll be fine, from that standpoint. For how long?
We don't know.
I don't know. Because once he gets into the NBA, you're not going to be playing 6'9", 220-pound centers.
Not to mention the fact the wear and tear in an NBA schedule compared to a college schedule, back-to-backs and all that stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't touch him.
Let me throw some numbers at you.
Not at 1, 2, or 3.
Kansas. He played 28 games at Kansas last year. Okay, how many games do you think he played more than 30 minutes? 28 games.
I'll say 0.
He actually played 6, okay?
6, okay.
Okay, for the season, what do you think he averaged?
24.
23 something, right?
Yeah.
This guy basically played half a game for Kansas, and he's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Marvin Williams was number 2, and he was coming off the bench.
You beat me right to the punch. It just shows. Everybody goes, okay, Marvin Williams was a 6th man at North Carolina. But you know what? His upside is off the charts.
I was one of those fools. I bought it.
And I see a lot with Embiid. I mean, you look at him, he's a physical specimen. But I got questions. Bill Self isn't stupid. I mean, if Embiid was Wiggins, he'd be on the floor 30-some minutes a game. And I mean, just his mere presence. But the guy was not playing. And then you look at him from a defensive standpoint, okay? Out of 28 games, how many times do you think he had more than 10 rebounds?
Oh, man, I don't know. We'll say 6 because you told me 30 minutes a game.
9. And again, this guy was clearly the best.
But you have to remember, he wasn't playing a lot of minutes. You yourself just said that. So from that perspective, that's actually impressive.
Yeah, and then offensively, I mean, there's a stretch here, Steve. 8 points, 5 points, 11 points, 6 points. Okay,
Kansas, Bill Self, case closed.
No,
I had the same argument about Andrew Wiggins. Bill Self screws his kids. Because I'll tell you what Bill Self is about. Bill Self is about winning college basketball games. Fine, I get that. Mm-hmm. Bill Self is not about developing kids for the next level. Bill Self is about himself. That's what Bill Self is about. He was that way at Illinois. He's that way at Kansas. That's who this dude is, man. And again, I'm not saying Embiid should have, done more or Wiggins, whatever else. I'm just saying different coach, different situation. They're utilized better than what they were under Bill Self. That's my take. We'll see if I'm wrong. We'll see if Embiid and Wiggins turn out to be busts. I don't take Embiid because of his physical limitations as far as being able to stay healthy. I agree with you on that. But we both agree he's 1, right?
Yeah, he is. But again, I think it's going to be a typical Cleveland Cavalier move.
Well, they're going to have. We'll see.
And this is why GMs always get fired in the lottery. They want to be geniuses, and they're always going, you know what? 4 or 5 years down the road, he could be a really
Right.
good player. In the meantime, they're out of a job after 2 or 3.
That's
you know?
right. I agree. Number 2, Joseph Nurkic. I think I said that right.
That's pretty good, yeah.
6'11", international player. What we know about him? I know nothing.
The guy is really climbing the charts. I mean, at one time he was late first, and then he's the middle of the first. Now there's people talking about, being in the lottery. And it goes back to, do you want a center? And how badly do you want him? I mean, there's teams out there that just need bigs. Is he going to come in and make much of an impact? Probably not. He'll play 20-some minutes and just be a nice, solid player.
So nothing special.
But because he's at a center position where there isn't a lot of good centers, his stock obviously goes up.
What do we know about Clint Capella, another international player?
International player, again, project.
Same thing.
Athletic. I mean, he's very athletic. Has a good understanding of the game, but again, if you're looking for guys that are going to help you in the next 2 to 3 years, I don't think he's the guy that's going to do it.
Number 4,
it's not a good center draft. And again, I hate to hark on this with Embiid. You look at some of the great centers that have come out of college, they had resumes where you said, hey, the odds are they're going to be good. His resume, to me, isn't even as good as the Beats.
No, I agree.
This is strictly all upside with that guy. And that's a huge gamble.
Number 4, Mitch McGary, the guy who ended up sitting out last year for Michigan. Showed in college when he played that he's a pretty decent player. I think he's a bench player. I don't think he's anything more than a bench player in the NBA.
He kind of reminds me of when I saw him? John Brockman. That big, physical, tough guy. And it's like, okay. He's going to be probably, I would imagine, late first, early second.
Yep.
And again, I mean, he does some nice things. He's had some issues off the floor. I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting to see where he goes.
Walt Tavares, 7'3", though.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a big guy at 7'3". For nothing else, just if he can be any type of shot blocker, he helps you.
Yeah, but again, what else can he do? And are you going to waste a pick? And again, he's projected as a late first, early second round pick. The Bucks could be staring at him with the first pick in the second round. And I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. But again, he's a long-term project. Is he going to come in and help you? I don't even think this guy could come in and give you 10 minutes, to be honest with you.
He is Gery Woelfel. That'll do it for the center position and the preview.
Oh, Alec Brown, too. UW Green Bay. He's going to go somewhere probably in the second round. He's not really a true center. He's more of a power forward, but throw his name into the mix.
He's a 7-footer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a 7-footer, but he's more like a John Lure type, more of a finesse type player. But I think he's going to be drafted somewhere, in the middle first, second round.
Had a great career at UW Green Bay. Brian Worrell did a nice job developing him. He's Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Sports Junkies as we preview the center position. Stay tuned. The next time we talk to you, we'll be doing our own version of what we would do in the draft if we were the Milwaukee Bucks.